Good morning. I'm so excited to be introducing my friend Michelle Saward from Detroit. Well, Trenton, Michigan, close to Detroit. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast, Michelle.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Andre. I appreciate it. This has been a long time in the making, so thank you.
Yes, I'm excited to kind of hear your story today. I actually forgot to hit the button for my introduction today, so that's the first time. But hey, it's all good. I'll hit it on the way out if I remember.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to share your story with everyone. For people that don't know Michelle, I know she's been in the business since 2001, selling over 190 homes per year with her team. One of your accolades, I know that you were Southeastern Michigan Regional Chamber of Commerce Woman of Achievement Award of 2020. That's pretty impressive. And over 2,000 career sales. So welcome to the podcast. I'm sure we'll hopefully have some questions for you from our listeners, and we'll give them a lot of value. But welcome, and go ahead. Let's jump in and tell us a little bit about your real estate background and your history.
Well, thank you so much. Actually, that trophy in the back on the shelf there with the rainbow colors, that's actually the trophy you just mentioned. So that was quite an honor. But yeah, so I've been in business, like you said, since 2001, and 20 years for me in the business now, which is, I don't know why we are wired this way to go so hard for this long. Like it's when you hear people that have had longevity in the business, usually it's not at a high level. Usually it's, I've been doing this 30, 40 years and I sell 10 houses a year or something. Right. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I do know what it is about me that makes me, want to go that hard for that long. I'm just have always found joy in being able to contribute to other people. That's where I get my sense of value, is like being of service to others. And that's one of the things that has really like given me fuel to keep going. And I got to the point in 2018, I was just an independent agent, doing really well. Like it really kind of took off for me. I would say in 2007, that the market started to take off for me, which is crazy. That's the middle of the down economy.
Right.
Agents were getting out of the business and doing really, really difficult things, because in Detroit, that down economy happened in 2006 through 2011. And so I had a real need. I say that there's the global economy and then there's my economy. And my economy said, I'm not having this.
Right.
And so I just ended up going a lot harder for my dreams during that time, when other people were tapping out. And sort of got a reputation of being the person willing to go hard for people, and go to bat for them. And picked up a lot of market share during that time, from other agents, like I said, tapping out of the business.
Yeah.
And then just from 2007, it was like just a rocket ship, being able to escalate to last year to closing 192 transactions. So that's we've been doing that pace since about 2016. And then it's my long-winded answer, I guess. And then in 2018, I thought, this is nonsense. I've been, stuck at this level of production for a long time. We need to do something different. And looked at the model of EXP and decided, well, this is different. And thought that this would be another way to scale and leverage opportunity. So here I am.
You kind of felt like that you're at a little bit of a ceiling and not sure how to get to the next level. I mean, how many hours a week were you working, and what did your team look like, before making the move to EXP?
Yeah. So we were doing, like I said, just under 190 transactions, and it was me doing about 125, 130 a year.
Wow.
I would do a loan. My buyer's agent was doing around 50 buyer sides a year. And then we would give away maybe 10 deals on referral business to another agent. Now that's here with me at EXP. We'd give her about 10 deals a year that just we couldn't service. We didn't have time.
Wow.
And there was another lady in the office we trusted and liked. And we had 2 transaction coordinators. So really there was just 4 of us, 2 transaction coordinators and 2 people doing the sales that were doing 180 some transactions a year. And it was full throttle all the time. If someone went on vacation, we were just running hot constantly. And that's when it started to get really fatiguing. You do that for so long that, yes, it's highly profitable.
Right.
But it's exhausting. And so, about the 15-year mark of doing that, I was like, okay, yeah, we should look for a different way to go about scaling and growing. And one of the things that I never really learned well was the team building thing.
Okay.
I went to an independent brokerage as my last 9-year run before I came over to EX, 9 years of it. And I thought this is something that I really need to learn because I want it to be profitable. I don't want to just bring people on for no good reason. This needs to be a business decision and it needs to make sense. And so it's funny. I didn't go looking for EXP. It found me. I was shopping for other brokerages, and because of Keller Williams, I was found out about EXP actually. So
no kidding.
So,
is that where you were at Keller Williams before?
No, I was with an independent.
Oh,
and I had no desire to get my broker's license. I had no desire to open my own office. I had no desire to do any of those things. And it's funny because now I have my broker's license and I have my own office. But what you resist persists, right? There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
hey, I want to welcome Jacob and Sarah and Bill, Frank, any of you guys. Thanks for jumping on our podcast today. If you have any questions, hi, Monica. If you have any questions from Rochelle, just put them in the chat box and definitely share this on your social media feeds and stuff. So what does your business look like now? How long has it been? And what does your business look like now with your team and et cetera?
Yeah. So last year we did the same. We did 192 transactions. I guess it's not the same. It's a little bit more, but we did 192 transactions. The year before, I think it was like 186 or something, but did it differently. I was able to take my personal production down from 125-ish down to 63 personal transactions last year. And we added 5 additional agents to the team to cover the balance of those units. And so that's been great because there's so many excellent real estate agents that just need an opportunity to learn how they can scale their business or grow and how to get more leads and, just get more experience in working with clients, period. And they have done a superb job. Honestly, those people that I've added have been quality people to take that on. So that's been nice because that then has allowed me to focus on what's going to serve and grow other agents and invite them to see the opportunity that is EXP and to help change lives the way that my life was definitely changed.
So that's cool. So you've basically went from 3 to 7 agents. You've been able to reduce the amount of most agents, they just want to do more and more and more. But hey, after you've been doing this for 15 years, you're making good income. You need to learn how to have time to spend some of it and have some free time. And that's what you've been able to do by, scaling your business and your team. And congratulations on that. You can tell you're probably even just more joyful. Even though you enjoyed, I'm sure, going to, taking care of your clients, it's even more joyful when you're helping your team members do the same and pouring into them. But you have more time freedom now, right?
Well, I don't know about time freedom. I think it's different time.
Okay.
That's the answer. It's not time spent in the car meeting with buyers and sellers. It's time spent meeting with agents and helping them develop and grow their business. So, I love to travel. I do take a lot of trips. That's
why we've met, right? Was it? I forget if it was Florida or Vegas. I forget where we first met, but
I think Florida. Was it Florida or we met before that? Second time in Florida. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We go to so many of these, masterminds and events around the country. It's hard to keep them all straight, but that's what's so cool is meeting people like yourself and other high level agents. I believe when you surround yourself with other people that are doing 5, 10, 20 times more than me and you put together, we all go up together.
I believe that too, Andre. I 100% believe that. That's exactly right. Who you surround yourself with matters. And that's one of the things that I'm hyper focused on right now, actually, is like, okay, things have shifted for me over the past couple of years. Who's aligned with my values and what I believe now, and where it is that I want to grow, and who's going to be I'm more interested now than ever in partnerships. I'm not interested in people who just want to take the knowledge and dismiss it. I want growth partners, people who are in it for the long haul, people who see the vision and want to align with the vision. That's a big difference than just pouring into someone with the hopes that they take it and run, right? And hopes that they stay. So that's the fundamental, I think, change for me. Was I wasn't interested in growth in the team arena under my independent brokerage, because there's a very high risk associated with pouring into people and then them leaving. The risk is mitigated at EXP. And that made me feel much more free, comfortable, and open to be willing to go deep and share and collaborate when that risk of people leaving is reduced.
And in your opinion, why do you feel the risk is so much lower at EXP than any other companies?
Andre. No.
Well, I know why, but I want to make sure the listeners know why.
No, that's great. The risk is mitigated because I'll give this as a great example. If she listens to this, it's fine. It's great. Lisa was on my team. Well, she was the overflow agent at my independent brokerage, right? She was just an excellent agent that did a great job with clients, and we trusted her. So if we couldn't serve them, we would refer to Lisa. When I moved to EXP, she went, hold on a second. You guys are a good chunk of my referral business. What's going on? And so she came over to EXP. She then decided, I don't know, maybe a year in at EXP, that she wanted to branch off and open up her own bricks and mortar space. And okay. And at first, your traditional real estate mind kicks in and says, she's going to be my competition. What? But then you realize, oh my gosh, no, this is what I'm talking about. Lisa is a growth partner to me. Right. Lisa is expanding the brand. Lisa I can support her and still be aligned with her without losing that business working relationship. The business working relationship is going to change and shift just a little bit from maybe a teammate to a business partner. Right. But we're still in alignment with our values and our beliefs, and we both want the same things. That's what I mean by a growth partner. Right. Is that it changes that dynamic of what am I going to do to take down my competition when they leave you, quote unquote, to what can I do to support this person who just left my team? What can I do to help her succeed and grow? What does she need to learn that I've already learned, or what can we do to help her with it?
That's a great mindset too. I mean, like you said, in the past, when someone left your team, usually it's because they're doing great and now they feel they don't need you, right? So they're going to open up their own brokerage or start their own team. But with this model, they're able to do just that. Start their own team, start their own, business. Office. Yeah. Even open up their own office. But we can still be business partners with them and owners with them because of the platform. You don't ever, and that's what we want, right? We want our people to actually get bigger and better than us because we're still all financially aligned together within a network. And the old model, once they left, they were your competition.
It's over. Yep. Yeah. Right. And then and let me add this. Lisa's done a great job. Like, she has got people in her office now. She's pouring into them. We're collaborating weekly. Like, it's special. It's a special sauce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. We talked a little bit before about, the people that you surround yourself matters. And I know we're in the same group with the Honey Badger group and Jake Kinder, Michael Reese, and those guys. And tell us a little bit about your experience and the collaboration and the people that you're surrounded with on an ongoing basis, and how's that helped your business?
It, when I was way more into plugging into those groups a couple months ago. I've sort of like taken a little bit of a back seat on that, just to kind of focus on my own, my own thing, because my own thing now. The truth is, those groups have been freaking phenomenal. I'm not, it was like, I was so starved for that.
Yeah.
For that collaboration and that kind of sharing and that kind of giving and that kind of mindset. When I showed up at EXP, that I was, like you said, we're traveling all the time. I was trying to plug into it as often as possible. It was like, being at an independent brokerage, I felt like I was in a desert, as a cactus, but didn't know that there was, that I needed water. I had no idea. No, I didn't know that I even needed water. And then when I came to EXP, I was fire hosed, and I was like, this is amazing, and I just wanted more of that. So now I'm plugging in on a less frequent basis. But to know that it still exists and is there, I'm plugging people into the resources all the time. And this culture that we have of collaboration and sharing, it's unfortunate that the words of the English language are not sufficient to convey what it's like to be a part of the organization. It can only be experienced and it can only be felt. It can't be, there's no words. So, I would just invite people at any opportunity, and I still do, to come see what it's like, be around the people, experience the conversation and the culture. And then you'll get a sense of what it is that we're really talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, the ownership aspect of it, that everyone becomes an owner. There's 5 different ways to get ownership in the company. You just work different when you're an owner. Like, you work different when you're the team leader compared to the normal team agents. You work a little different, or a lot different, as you're an broker owner compared to just an agent on a team. And with this model, I mean, we all become owners, and I think that's a huge tipping point of why the collaboration is like it is. At least it's a big part of it.
Yeah, that too. I wasn't even thinking about that part, but you're 100% right. When you are a vested agent owner in your own business, it fundamentally changes the way that you operate and the way that you think. I don't know how to say that any different. I guess, yeah, that's on par with, I heard this example once and I thought it was genius. I'm a landlord and I have rental properties, right?
Okay.
Did you hear this one before?
No, I haven't.
I'm a landlord and I have rental properties. True story. A tree, wow, did I manifest this by telling the story before? A tree fell on my rental property last year. It did. The neighbor's tree fell onto the side of the house on my rental property. Of course, we got a call from the tenant, and we said, oh yeah, that's unfortunate. We're gonna call the insurance company. We're gonna call the tree trimming service. Sorry, you can't park in your driveway right now until the tree is cut and out of the way, and we have to call the utility company, and fire department, like whatever, like all this. And so we did what we could do over the phone, pretty much. But my husband and I were not out there with chainsaws cutting down that tree. Now, let me say, if that tree fell on my own house and it was blocking my driveway, you better believe we would be rallying the neighbors. We would be out there with our own chainsaws, going to Home Depot, buying me a chainsaw, learning how to do it, right? Because this is something that I'm much more deeply vested in where I live than just a rental property, right?
That's a great analogy, yeah.
And so that's how it is at EXP. It's like, as owners, you're doing everything possible to move logs out of the way for people versus just making a few phone calls, So that's I think that's how ownership changes you.
Yeah, that's a great example. Now, you said in the beginning that you actually were looking for possibly making a change and kind of interviewing different places. How many different companies did you kind of really look at? Number one, and number two, what was the top, one or two things that really drew you to EXP?
Yeah, when I started at Realogy, Century 21. Then I moved, that closed. I went to a Coldwell Banker, it closed. Okay, so I was not going back to the Realogy brands. I wasn't going to investigate them. It's the same thing with a different color. It's the same.
Right.
It is. And so I investigated 3, including EXP. I will say it was $149 to come to EXP versus multiple thousands to open a franchise with any other, big company like a Keller Williams or something. $149. And I was like, this is such a low risk in opportunity. It was honestly a no-brainer. I mean, my whole goal in coming to EXP, which Andre, now, you're probably going to laugh at this one because you know me better now, but was to zero out my overhead, to be at net zero. I thought 0 is a phenomenal number. I still think 0 is a phenomenal number to run your business at.
Right.
If you think about it, we're paying a $16,000 broker cap here at EXP. And there's 2 ways that you can eliminate that broker cap completely. Right? You can, do production levels that would award you back $16,000 in stock. To me, that's a 0 out. It's going back to me. Right? Or you could invite 3 full capping agents to the opportunity here at EXP. Right. And then, I'm sorry, invite 6 agents here to EXP. Right. Over the course of a year. That's what I meant to say. 6 agents to EXP over the course of a year. And that would eliminate your broker overhead, your cap for the year.
And that happens year after year because those 6 people stay and they're producers. You get that back year after year.
Right. So I just thought, okay, if I could be at 0 in broker fees or have that money come back, I have 2 ways to go about this. I'm gonna go for both. I'm gonna go for the production side and get the money back in stock, and then I'm gonna invite 6 people in 12 months to this opportunity called EXP. And then what happened was exactly what our friend Gene Fredericks talks about, is that he talks about those 6 people invited people to the opportunity, right? And now I'm positive, I'm cash flow positive just by transferring my license to this company, doing nothing different than I've already done. Nothing different. It's just a phenomenal opportunity. So I know, before we jumped on this call, EXP, they're a bunch of recruiters and they're not, production based. I just saw the stats, you did too, that came out on the ranking of companies.
Right.
And if you do the numbers, EXP agents are selling, I think it was 11 homes a year versus some of our competitors that were 8 homes a year, or, some bigger box companies that would surprise the heck out of you that was the average number of homes per agent per year that they were doing.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, this is our big focus, no.
Yeah, it's all about production. No one's making money unless houses are being sold.
Correct.
And we have production training calls. We're doing things on a weekly ongoing basis just for our group. And of course, EXP has 50, 60 hours of training a week at no cost. So it is all about production. What would you say? I mean, you were kind of looking for a change, but what would you say to someone that, they're happy, they're at least, we don't know what we don't know, but if they were happy and content of where their business was at and didn't want to make a change because they were happy, what would you say to someone like that?
You can be happy wherever you are. Happy is a state of mind. It's not a physical location. I mean, that's my first look. I was at 3 companies over the course of 20 years. I told you the first 2 closed and I stayed at the last one for 9 years. Those people that work there are still great people.
Huh.
I'm still friends with many of them. We do deals. I see them out on the boat. We're still friends. We all still get along. They're great people. That doesn't change. Being happy, you can be happy wherever you want to be. I mean, this is really a decision about your financial future and about what's best for your family. And if they really were your friends, they'll be your friends, even if you switch brokerages, and they will still support you. And if they don't, guess what you just learned about those people? What we say, surround yourself with the people that, raise you up, right?
You want to be around people where you're celebrated and not just tolerated, right?
Ooh, celebrated, not tolerated. I like, Andre. I like.
Yeah, I got that from our coach, our business coach, Mr. Michael Burton.
That's awesome. I really like it. I like that guy. I like that guy so much. His content is great. Yeah.
Now he's one of the best business coaches I've ever had, and we got turned on to him because of our business partners, Jay Kinder and those guys. They actually hired him to coach these guys who are at a top level, and then offered them on all our private Facebook pages and stuff at no cost to us. And you got a little taste of it. It's like, wow, that guy is brilliant. So yeah, I've hired him as my private coach as well, and I know it's been good to learn. And I believe no matter what level that you're at, there's always another level, right? If you're not growing, then you're dying. So I'm always looking to be growing, and I know you are as well. One of my last questions is if you could do it all over again, with your real estate career in general or with your move to EXP, what would you do differently, if anything? What would you say to that?
Andre, that's a tough one, because I need to be honest about it. Really. I have no choice. So it'll be, what is it? 4 years for me in June that I'll have been here at EXP. Okay. And I wish I would have invited more people to the opportunity sooner and faster. To be here at this company. I wish I could have found more capacity to be able to do that. Because I myself, when I came to this company, was frankly pissed that no one told me about this company sooner. I was like, you came here when? 2006, what? Whatever. You've been here 3 years already, whatever.
So you were actually insulted and not happy that some of the people that you knew that were in the company never called you, ahead of time.
Yes. I was like, really? No one called me? I was pissed. That took a little while to get over, that no one called me. But so I know other people feel that same way of like, oh my God, if I would have just known sooner about it, or if I would have thought differently about it, or I would have been open-minded, about it, I would have been here sooner. I can't, you hear it too, Andre. People come to this company and they go, I wish I would have been here, sooner. This is such an amazing difference. So I wish I would have had more time to do that up front. I poured a lot into my team and de-escalating my personal sales. That was a big concerted effort on my part.
Goal. That was your goal, right?
It was my goal. So it just, it took longer than I thought. I have this taped on my computer right now, and it's going to be backwards on your screen, but it's just a post. It says, it's all happening in perfect time. It takes as long as it takes, as I'm having this conversation with you. Right. And I'm like, perfect timing. Okay. Well, our time here on earth is not necessarily God's time, but we're like, can you get it going, dude? Come on. Let's go. Anyway,
so what's your whole organization? So sounds like you worked on your team, helping, get your income, your net up, up there, and things down to zero, like you said, help building those guys up, for the first year or two before you started sharing the opportunity?
Yeah, I did start to share it, but not at the pace that I would like to
You should have. Okay.
that I should have had. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was at EXP for 4 months before I did my first explanation of EXP to share with people what's going on. Because I wanted to know, did I just sign up? Can I swear on your podcast? A little, can I? No? Nah. Okay, whatever.
No, it's up to you, but
All right. I'll be nice then. Did I just sign up for like, you know, like a good company, a bad company, or what? Like, what is this? What did I get into? You know? And so I was very like precautionary. So I didn't share the opportunity for at least 4 months. And then I was like, oh, you got to hear about this, you know, and I probably was a little too zealous with people. Because one of my friends said to me, Michelle, when I first learned about Jesus Christ, I invited everybody to come to my church. And she's like, you know, and she's like, but not everybody's ready for that message. And she was talking about herself. And I was like, okay, I was probably a little too zealous, you know, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You know, now that I know what I got involved in, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And so I did probably like push too hard with a lot of people coming out of the gate. Tina Call is a friend of mine that I, you know, brought into this company, and she's like, Michelle, you were nuts. I'm like, I know. I was excited. And so I did do that, but I could have gone about it a little bit more strategically. I could have gone about it with a little more consistency because I would, you know, share the opportunity, then get pulled right back into production. And then, you know, it was this constant, like kind of up and down of like, okay,
Right.
figuring that out, which is, you know, quite honestly, Andre, that's the same thing that happens with a new licensee. Right? A new licensee gets overwhelmed with the amount of leads that they have coming in or clients active at that time. And then they need to pull back and service, right?
Yeah.
That was the same kind of thing that was happening with me. It was like I'd get overwhelmed with the number of people that were interested in the opportunity. And then I realized they're not here at the company yet. You need to still sell houses. You know, they're not here. You have to go back to that part. So I would have gone about it differently.
Okay.
More steady.
What does your overall team look like now? You came over with 3 people. You brought on 5 on your own team.
Mm-hmm.
But what does your EXP global team look like now after 4 years?
Global, we just passed 1,300 in the total group.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. So if you think about that, 4 years, have you ever known any brokerage in 4 years to bring on 1,300 people? A local brokerage.
Right.
That's nuts. I've known 0 that have done that. Even the most productive, amazing real estate brokerage that I've known here locally had, like, over the course of 20 years, had, you know, 5 local offices and, you know, I think it was like 700 agents in my market,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So they had like north of Detroit, south, they had them, you know, sort of all over the metropolitan area. And that was huge. That was an amazing over 20 years, you know?
Right. And how has your life or how have things changed because of your growth?
Well, one of the things is that I bought a house on the lake. I live on Lake Erie now.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, where's that? I'm like, it's, you know, right there. I'm in, you know, Michigan. So I live on the lake. I have my boat in my backyard, right out to open water, Lake Erie.
Nice.
So I did the upsize on the house. We have bought a couple more rental properties. I've added that to my portfolio. So that's been nice. The stock has been game changing. Even if people say, oh, Michelle, it's in the toilet right now. Everything's in the toilet right now. This is May 25th, 2022. Right. So all the stocks are in the toilet right now, but it's still great. To know that I'm supplementing my income. My husband left his job as an engineer.
Oh, wow.
He works with me now. So he was a 20-year engineer and he quit. So that's been fantastic to have him working with me now.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So we're onward to the next goal, which is to buy a place in Maui. So it's speeding up a lot of these things that we had on our radar.
Your
a lot
life
of
goals,
dreams.
yeah.
That's what the conversation is, right? It's about the vehicle to get you where you want to go. What vehicle are you in? And this vehicle called EXP has enabled us to get where we want to go a lot faster.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If there was just one takeaway that you want to make sure that anyone's listening today, any of your close friends, maybe someone that you haven't talked to yet, what would you want to make sure that they understood and took away from our interview today?
Oh, what's the biggest takeaway? I would say there's so many opportunities, and I have some too right now, to go hang out with Tony Robbins. This is part of our group, right? This is another opportunity. There's so many opportunities to be inside the ecosystem of EXP before you even make the switch to come to this company, to see what it's like, and to surround yourself with other people who are thinking this way, who are involved in the company and are, fast forwarding their dreams much faster. I would encourage people to not be afraid to talk to other EXP agents, but to just be open-minded and to be around the ecosystem of people in EXP, because they will find something radically different than what they've been told. And the best way to find out for yourself if this company is for you is to do your own homework and not let someone else tell you what you should think and believe.
I tell people just do the math. It's a business decision. It's just a business decision, and you got to do what's best for your family and yourself, and just do the math. And most of the time, that speaks for itself. Well, that's awesome. Well, any last things you want to mention before we sign off? I really appreciate you taking your time today. I know you're busy with building your business, and I really enjoyed our time today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I want to say to you, Andre, publicly, thank you for your generosity of having me on this call. And thank you for accommodating a crazy schedule. I really appreciate that one. You're a guy that always has a plan B waiting in the wings. So that's very refreshing and much appreciated. So thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. One last quick question I always ask people at the end. If you're a movie watcher, what's the all-time best movie? Or if you're a reader, what's the all-time best book that you'd like to recommend?
So maybe this is coming on the heels of the Kentucky Derby, but Seabiscuit is a great one.
Okay.
If you've not seen it. And it's funny, that horse that just won was wearing like the red and white, whatever. Okay. Anyway. So Seabiscuit's a really good one, because for me, that is just the perfect metaphor of like, you're great, but you're not using your greatness and making sure that you get on the right track for success so that you can win. So that's why I love Seabiscuit. Books and me, I'm an Audible junkie. So I have a constant list of things going around right now. Most recently, my most fond of The Gap and the Gain. That has been a standout raving book for me these days about where's your head at and what are you really focusing on. So
yeah, that's awesome. I'm with you there. We just read that recently too, and it's been a game changer.
It's a huge one.
Again, thanks again, Michelle. Thanks everyone for listening to the Financial Freedom Forever podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. When you find a real estate platform that aligns everyone in the entire company financially by making us real estate agents owners, so when the average agent wins, everyone wins, that's the secret to success. And when you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurial people who absolutely love what they do, they love serving people, they love God and life, and you put yourself in an environment of high energy, high producing, positive people every day, you can't help but succeed in business and life. We are changing the real estate industry and changing real estate agents' lives.